The elevator to nowhere only stops if you break a rule, and that's when it opens. It started with a simple building. 20 stories tall, forgotten by the city, squatting like a tumor at the edge of downtown, sandwiched between a parking garage and a condemned clinic. No name. No listed tenants. No lights in the windows. Yet every night, around 11:58 p.m., the elevator in the lobby starts working. No one knows who built it. The city says it was torn down years ago. But it's still there. I know, because I rode that elevator. And I barely got out. They say it only appears to certain people. Lost people. Desperate ones. Or curious idiots like me. I read a post online, some old archived message board that people don't visit anymore, with a set of rules. And a warning. If you find the elevator in the building on 8th and Lorne, do not ride it. But if you do, remember these rules. Or it won't stop until you're gone. The rules of the elevator to nowhere. 1. Never press the button for the 13th floor. There is no 13th floor. If you press it, something gets on. 2. Don't speak after the 5th floor. Even if someone else does. Especially if someone else does. 3. If the elevator stops and the doors open to a hallway filled with water, hold your breath. You might be asked to prove you're not one of them. 4. Do not look directly at the mirror from floors 7 to 9. It doesn't show you. Not really. 5. If the elevator goes down after the 10th floor, begin praying. You might already be dead. 6. There is always a passenger on floor 2. Let them board. Do not acknowledge them. Do not listen. 7. Never, under any circumstance, exit the elevator before the 12th floor. It isn't your stop. No matter what it says. I followed the rules. At first. The elevator smelled wrong, like wet rust and burning plastic. The panel lit up even though I never pressed anything. Floor 2. The doors opened. A man in a soaked suit stepped in, holding a bouquet of rotting flowers. His eyes were too white. He never blinked. I remembered the rule, don't acknowledge him. I stared at the floor. We passed floor 5. He started humming. Something tuneless. I almost answered. Almost told him to stop. But I didn't. I bit my tongue until it bled. Floor 6 was filled with static. The lights buzzed and flickered like a failing VHS. And then came floor 7, the mirror floor. I looked. God help me, I looked. It was me. But it wasn't. My reflection was smiling. No, grinning. Bloody teeth too wide for my face. It raised a hand before I could, mimicking nothing. It mouthed something I couldn't hear, but I felt it in my spine. You don't belong here. I stumbled back, heart pounding. The elevator kept moving. Floor 10 came and went. I hadn't pressed anything. And yet we descended. The panel glowed a sickly green. The man from floor 2 was gone. I never saw him leave. His flowers were still there, wilting in a puddle of brackish water. Then the elevator opened to a room, not a floor. A hospital room, lined with mirrors. All of them showed different versions of me, old, dead, dismembered, smiling. I held my breath. I remembered the rules. The doors began to close, then jammed. Something was pushing back from the other side. A hand, too thin and too long, reached in. The nails clicked on the steel walls like knives. The voice whispered, sweet as rot. You pressed the wrong button. But I hadn't. Unless I broke a rule. Floor 13 lit up. I don't remember how I got out. Only that I woke up in my bed, soaked in cold sweat, mud under my nails, rust on my fingertips. The bouquet of dead flowers was sitting on my kitchen counter. I tried to tell people. No one believes me. But I found that message board again. Buried. Archived. Someone new had posted. I rode the elevator. Got to floor 13. Someone was already there. He looked like me. And now I know. The elevator never stops until someone takes your place. You only get out if someone else gets in. New rule added. 8. If you survive, never return. And never speak of it aloud. The elevator might hear you. And it remembers. But I spoke. I broke the rule. It wasn't even on purpose. I was drunk, months later, at a gathering where everyone was trying to outdo each other with ghost stories. Someone mentioned the back rooms, someone else the midnight game. And I laughed. I actually laughed, and muttered, yeah, well, I took a ride on an elevator that went to hell once. The room went silent. Not out of fear or awe, just silence, like the story didn't land. But something shifted. I felt it in my teeth. In the air pressure. My phone vibrated. I checked it and froze. No message. No missed call. Just the screen turned on, and the number 13 pulsed in red, over and over again. Then the screen cracked. I left the party early, heart pounding, stomach tight. I told myself I was imagining it. A glitch. A leftover trauma response. Anything but what I already knew to be true. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept hearing that low hum, the sound the elevator made when it dropped below floor 10. It started faint. Then louder. The walls seemed to pulse with it. My bedroom light flickered. At 3:13 a.m., I snapped awake to a knock on my apartment door. 3 knocks. Then silence. I crept toward the door, stupidly. Slowly. Every instinct told me to hide, but my body moved like it remembered a rhythm I didn't teach it. I looked through the peephole. Nothing. But the floor under my feet rumbled. The hallway light outside flickered. Then it went out. Then came on again, dimmer. And standing there, just outside my door, was the man from floor 2. The one with the flowers. Only this time, his face was rotted. The skin had sloughed off like wax. His eyes were gone. His smile, wider than it should have been, opened slowly. He raised one skeletal hand and tapped the elevator button mounted next to my apartment door. It lit up red. The elevator is following me. The next day, the building was gone. I went back to 8th and Lawrence. Just an empty lot. Nothing but gravel and a chain link fence. No one remembered a building ever being there. I tried to pretend it was over. For days. Weeks. I started losing time. Waking up in places I didn't remember walking to, subway stations, hotel lobbies, a construction site downtown where the unfinished scaffolding formed an eerie resemblance to an elevator shaft. And always, the faint hum. It never left me. One morning, I woke up in my own bed, but something had changed. The elevator panel was now embedded into my bedroom wall. Just the buttons. No shaft. No doors. Just the familiar grid, 1 through 20. And floor 13 now glowed red. I smashed it. Tore it out of the drywall. But the next night, it was back, cleaner this time, newer. Shiny steel, with my reflection in it. Only this time, my reflection wasn't looking back. It turned its head on its own. And smiled. I'm writing this now because I know what's coming. The elevator never stops until someone replaces you. I've lasted this long because I followed the rules. Even when I broke Rule 8, I tried to pretend I didn't. But pretending isn't obedience. And it knows. Last night, the bouquet appeared again. On my kitchen counter. Fresh this time. Blood red roses. This morning, I found Rule 9 etched into my bathroom mirror in fog. 9. If the elevator finds your home, it's too late. It doesn't want to take you. It wants to open. I don't know what that means yet. But I hear the hum again. Closer. Stronger. And I know this time, it won't be a ride I get off from. If you find this, if you ever see an unmarked elevator in a forgotten building, don't get in. Don't be curious. Don't be brave. Because the elevator goes down. And it only opens for the next passenger. But here's the thing they never tell you, if the elevator can't find a new passenger, it waits. It watches. It whispers. It infects. You don't have to step inside it anymore. At a certain point, you are the elevator. You carry it with you. Every building with floors, every hallway with flickering lights, every shadow that falls in rectangular shapes, they're all parts of it now. The humming sound became constant. Hello, mechanical drone beneath every moment of silence. I tried to escape it, moved across the country, slept in cars, in open fields, even a tent deep in a desert. And still, in the dead of night, when the wind died and the stars stared too long, I heard it. The click of unseen doors sliding open. One night, I dreamt of the shaft. Not the elevator, just the void. A massive, vertical tunnel of rusted metal and gears that extended down into a depth so black and ancient it felt alive. I saw something crawling up the walls, slow and patient. Not a person, not anymore. A thing that wore skin-like clothing, its arms bending backwards, nails tapping against concrete. It had eyes, dozens of them, growing out of its chest, its shoulders, even the inside of its mouth. And all of them were open. Watching. Waiting. It whispered my name. When I woke up, my feet were black with soot. My shoes were gone. And a thin line of grime, elevator grease, led from my bedroom to the front door. There's no escaping it anymore. I finally understand Rule 9. If the elevator finds your home, it doesn't want to take you. It wants to open. I hear the gears now, clicking and grinding behind my walls. I haven't opened a door in days. I don't know where they lead. I can't trust them. Some of them open to brick. Others open to darkness. One opened to floor 13. Only once did I open my closet without thinking. Inside was a hallway of flickering fluorescent lights. I shut it immediately. But I still hear footsteps pacing behind the door. Heavy ones. Like someone dragging something behind them. Rule 10 appeared last night. This time, not in steam. Not in fog. But carved into my bedroom ceiling, in deep gouges that dripped with something warm and foul-smelling. 10. If you read this far, the elevator knows your name. And it's building a new floor, just for you. Now I see people the elevator has already touched. They're not obvious. They look normal, tired commuters, janitors, office workers. But their eyes are always just a little too hollow. Their fingers twitch when they pass elevator buttons. They flinch at the ding of arriving floors. They don't speak of what they saw. But sometimes they stare too long at reflective surfaces, like they're waiting for something inside them to move. Last week, a man in my apartment building disappeared. They found his shoes at the end of the hallway. Just the shoes. No blood. No struggle. But the security footage showed the elevator door opening at 3:13 a.m. He wasn't standing in front of it. He was already inside. Now the humming isn't just sound, it's pressure. It vibrates my bones, resonates in my teeth. I sleep less. I forget more. I speak in numbers I don't remember learning. I've started sketching floor plans in my sleep, layouts of rooms and stairwells that spiral endlessly downward. I think I've been there. I think I'm still there. Maybe this reality is the elevator's final illusion. A last offering of comfort before the real descent. If I disappear next, and I will, don't come looking. You'll find an elevator with no markings. A red 13 glowing softly. The doors will slide open, smooth and quiet. Don't step in. Don't look in. Don't speak. Because the moment you acknowledge it, the moment you see it, it sees you back. And that means your floor is almost finished.